Hi, my name is Danbee and I would like to introduce my research, co-feeding spent coffee grounds in anaerobic food digesters. So, coffee is an essential part of our lives. So, according to the statistics, Koreans consume much more coffee even than kimchi or rice. So, 10 billion cups of coffee is annually consumed, and about 100,000 tons of spent coffee grounds is annually produced in Korea. But most of spent coffee grounds is disposed of in landfills as general waste. So it can cause very serious problems such as pollution due to the organic compound in spent coffee grounds or toxic compounds such as caffeine or polyphenols or tannin. So one viable method to deal with spent coffee ground is anaerobic digestion, which can efficiently convert organic waste to energy. So, however, only studies reported that the long-term stable monodigestion of spent coffee ground was not achievable due to the several factors. Co-digestion is one viable method to overcome these problems. However, the high proportion of spent coffee ground can affect to the AD process negatively. So, in this study, we studied the long-term monitoring to find out whether the stable treatment and efficient biogas production is available in case that a small amount of spent coffee ground is fed to the pre-existing food waste digesters. So we use 3 substrates. So food waste and spent coffee ground was collected from a cafeteria and a coffee shop on the campus of our school unit. And anaerobic sludge was collected from a full-scale anaerobic digester which treats food waste, soil sludge, and human feces. And finally, the fresh alba biomass was collected from a beach near Ulsan, and it was gently washed with tap water to remove impurities. So these tables are represents the characteristic of substrates. And please pay attention to the iron concentration of each substrate. And we operate the 3-liter duplicate digester in mesophilic condition without pH control. And the hydraulic retention time was 40 days for a low period, while the organic loading rate was started with 2.5 gram vs per liter per day, and it was gradually increased. So in page 1, we test the monodigestion of food waste. So the digesters initially filled with the inoculant sludge, and it was continuously fed with food waste. And it showed both results shows stable performance for more than 2.5 turnovers, with a similar performance between R1, reactor 1 and reactor 2. So the methane yield was 0.41 and 0.43 liter per gram Vs. It was based on the volatile solid fetid. And the Vs removal was 80.3% and 80.5% respectively. And in page 2, we added the spent coffee ground, the main substrate, major substrate in our experiment. This is page 2. And the spent coffee ground was added based on the 10% of food waste Vs. So we observed a slight decrease in methane yield and some decrease in Vs removal after adding the spent coffee ground. So we think that it may be the addition of spent coffee grounds inhibit the methanation of food waste. unfortunately, after the 2.5 or the 3 turnovers waited after adding spent copy 1, there was a deterioration with a rapid increase of VFA and the sudden drop of methane production. So we adopt the different stabilization strategy to the R1 and R2. And interestingly, there was a rapid degradation in VFA accumulated in R1, while R2 showed the more accumulation in VFAs even after the stopping feeding. So we thought that the accumulation of VFAs is due to the process imbalance between the acidogenesis and the methanogenesis, especially between the propionate degrading bacteria and hydrogenotropic methanogens. So R2 took more than 2 months to stabilize, and continuous feeding to R1 region after residual VFAs were almost degraded, but the process deteriorated immediately again. So we did about three times stabilization period in phase 2 in R1. So to explore the reason for the process imbalance, so many process factors were analyzed and considered, such as ammonium nitrogen concentration, alkalinity, and free ammonia trace element. So trace element deficiency was suspected, so we decided to put the herba biomass as a co-substrate. So we add herba as 5% volatile solid of food waste, and the effect of herba was significantly different in 2 reactors. So we thought that it might be due to the different stabilization strategy adopted in both reactors. So in case of R1, the deterioration occurred periodically as phase 2. Okay, here. And on the other hand, the R2 shows the 2 times rapid deterioration after co-feeding R1, but stable operation was achieved for more than 1 turnovers. But unfortunately, there was a power fault, blackout was occurred at that time. So the temperature controller of R2 was malfunctioned. So R2 experienced a 4 days temperature shock. So we took a 3-day stabilization to R2, and after the stabilization period, R2 rapidly recovered. So we concluded that the herba co-feeding had to improve the stabilization of R2, and it might be the sufficient micronutrient content in herba. This is the picture of herba, and this table shows trace element concentration in effluent before and after the addition of herba. So day 262 is before the addition of herba, and the other days are after the addition of herba. So it seems that the high iron concentration in herba may have a positive effect on the methanogenesis. So comparing R1 and R2, R1 showed some fluctuation in the trace element concentration before and after the herba addition, while the R2 showed decrease before herba addition and gradual increase after the herba in the herba addition. So it might be due to the activation of both reactors. So microbial community structure was analyzed using NGS sequencing. So changes in microbial structure clearly shows the difference between the each pages. So both bacteria and archaea community significantly different in the samples of page 2. This is the page 2, while the samples of page 1 showed similar structures. So this may reflect the different stabilization strategy in R1 and R2. And in case of archaea, the dominant species in R1 was the methanotrix species, while it was shifted to the methanobacterium species in R2. So it indicates that the major pathways of methanogenesis shift from acetylactic to hydrogenotropic. So finally, the cluster dendrograms and NMDS plots also reflect the significant change between page 1 and page 2, indicating that the microbial community structure widely changed while the undergoing deterioration and restoration process after adding spent copygrams. So this is our conclusion. The monodigestion of food waste shows steady performance, but the addition of spent copygrams was relatively effective to the food waste digested. And the different stabilization strategy for restoration was adopted, and it was resulted in the different responses to the addition of ALA. So, and both bacteria and archaea community structure significantly changed after the addition of spent coffee ground, occurrence of process imbalance, and restoration process. So we observed the major methane production pathway was changed from acetylactic to hydrogenotropic, and we suggest that the stable continuous operation is difficult if only spent coffee ground is added to the food waste digester, but suboptimal performance can be achieved if small amount of ALA is added together. So we think that the further study is needed in case that the less amount of spent coffee ground is added. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you for the presentation. Any question or comment from the floor? Okay, so yeah, please.
So you just fixed HRT 40 days, right?
Yeah.
So probably you need to change the HRT for optimization, I think. Yeah. Also usually we need to have a so-called shoot up, shoot down to see whether this system is stable or not. When you conduct the dilution rate, you need to have a shoot up, shoot down, reversible to see whether this system is stably maintained all the time. That's what I suggest. Yeah.
Thank you for comment.
Okay, so that's for the comment, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so thank you for your nice presentation, and thank you for coming from long distance.